Greetings to you and thank you for joining us as RSN. As we have come to the end of the Youth Month, we have come to reflect on the commemoration around why it was named that. 2021 marks the 45th anniversary of the student uprising in Soweto that took place on the 16th of June in 1976. This year's theme is called the Year of Charlotte Manya Matleke, Growing Youth Employment for an Inclusive and Transformed Society. And it is such an honor to see the youth of 2021 following suit to reflect on the importance of uplifting young people and growing their confidence, thereby helping with the transition to a better world. Since 1976, a number of initiatives have been started to reflect on the importance of the day, putting in efforts to equip young people with the skills and confidence to face the world better than the youth of yesterday. But of course, the need is highest for students from underprivileged areas and schools where education and facilities are underdeveloped. That is why we as RSN are honored to present these two individuals who are playing a huge role in their community. We could not have the event, but we took time to share this admirable act being done by the youth, and also with the hopes of encouraging more individuals who have taken into consideration an initiative to help out, and those who have not thought about it to start doing so. So I won't get into much about what they do and where, because we will hear all of that from them. So first up is Luxolo Mdolo, a medical student at the University of Cape Town, but also the advisor to the executive, alumni member, and former president at Kutlonong Promeds Alumni Society. And lastly, he is the founder of Live to Inspire.
Greetings to you all. My name is Luxolo Mdolo. Before I just start, much appreciation to Esenako and Mohadi and the entire RSN team for organizing such a wonderful event on such a wonderful day. I hope you enjoy the presentation. One thing that I do strongly believe in as a person is leaving an impact, influencing someone to become a better version of themselves, just inspiring other people. And this ideology led to conversations that I had with my friend group to start then an organization, regardless of how small, because we didn't want to wait up until we have more resources, up until, let's say, we are more established. But rather, I believed that if we could possibly just start by doing something, regardless of how many lives we touch, but just having that impact at whatever environment that we find ourselves in, that would be a perfect place to start. So we then started an organization, which is an NPO, that goes by the name Live to Inspire, literally driven by the fact that we want to live to inspire other people, right? So we started this initiative. What it does is that it inspires high school students to achieve their goals, believing in them, because sometimes you need someone to believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. Believing in them and equipping them with skills, knowledge, and mentorship to achieve their goals. And we do yearly tours to different schools in Port Elizabeth, and we just speak to the teachers, we speak to the children, we inspire them, we share our journeys, we share our stories, we invite other people. So we try and diversify it in the approach that we have each and every year when we do the tours, which is the most amazing part. And throughout the year we conduct tutoring where we can, and we conduct mentoring most of the time, and especially also with applications, so we also help them with that. It is a small step, but to their life it is more than just small. So that is what inspired us to continue with this initiative. The journey to drafting or starting this organization was a very challenging one, because number one, the co-founders live in different cities. We only meet like once a year. So it means that our social communication online had to be very strong. We had to start opening group chats, and even the process of going and starting the organization, having to come up with the constitution, come up with a committee. It was very, very, very tiring and strenuous. But because we're committed to the cause and we had a vision and we shared that vision that this is what we want to do, this is the type of impact that we want to have. So that kept us going up until we eventually had everything going. I have seen so much growth over the years. And I just wish I could just scream at the top of the roofs and just tell people to start where you are. Things are going to fall into place, regardless of whether you can't see the solution at the moment. start somewhere. That is what I would say to everyone, because I understand that growth comes as effort multiplies as you go on. So we started off small with a group of 10 people, but now in our group we have more than 30 people that are just willing to constantly work with us, become part of the population of the Live to Inspire group. And we continue to recruit people from different years who have different experiences of high school to just share their stories, and we continue to get feedback from the teachers, and we've built such a bond with our community in Motherwell, with our community just generally in Port Elizabeth. And we started off with the Motherwell community, which is a township in Port Elizabeth, but now we've expanded to supply the entire Port Elizabeth. Like teachers from even your Model C schools, they invite us at times to say, come speak. And one of the greatest challenges that we have faced during the COVID times, because there had to be a lockdown, and that means that there is less social interaction physically, that is, and we had to adapt from that. So we started looking into finding other ways and other platforms in which we can continue to inspire the people, because the work had to continue. So we've grown so much as a people, and we see the impact that it is having, and that continues to drive us to continue doing what. So the biggest lesson or lessons that I've learned since being involved at this outreach program is that, first of all, you learn how to work with people, because people generally are made to have different ideas. You're a machine that produces ideas. And when you're working with people, you need to find effective ways of integrating each other's ideas to produce that master plan that can then be carried out perfectly. So that is one challenge that I faced. And also, the more that I contribute to this idea, the more I have more ideas to contribute in other ideas. So then I realized that there's a lot that you can do. And I learned that it's not about where you are. It's about what you can do with the position that you find yourself in. As for example, as a university student, I realized that I have a lot of knowledge to share with high school students. It means that it puts me in a position where I can help high school students get better grades, and also just do better generally as people. So I just find more opportunities, and I become a learner to that. So I learn, okay, where can I contribute? What can I do? So I just have become more receptive to these things. And one thing lastly that I've also learned is just that when you inspire someone, it's always a domino effect. You inspire them, and they become so inspired by you that they feel like they can inspire other people as well, because they know other people that were in their situations, were in their shoes. So it just becomes a nice domino effect in which we build this community that is bound to help each other, because we all have that impact in each other's lives. As a person who comes from a rural / township community, I just realized that most of the time when you get there, people are not just battling with the situation that they find themselves in academically. They're battling with situations at home. They're battling, their families and their parents are battling with putting food on the table. So they're facing all these different battles, and they do not have time to say, okay, I'm going to tap into my potential now. I'm going to find myself in my element. I'm going to do my best. For them, it's a matter of saying, I have to just try do something for my family. I just have to keep going. Some don't even see the point of school or education. So they're already working against a lot of factors. So for me personally, it just pushed me to then say, if I could just expose them to their full potential, if I could just make them realize that they can achieve way more than just surviving, right? And they can achieve all these different goals that they have whilst being the best at who they are. So the concept of untapped potential that is there in your rural communities, in your township communities, in your previously disadvantaged communities, it's unbelievable. So I believe that as a youth, we need to make use of that, acknowledge it, and contribute into helping others achieve their potential and achieve things that they're capable of. Because when you often go there at times, you will speak to the students and they'll tell you, but how can I do this? I can't even go out or do anything with my life because I don't have income. I don't know what I'm gonna eat when I get home. So all these concerns that just come together, and you think, how can this person be thinking about getting a distinction under these situations? But if you're there to inspire them, if you're there to make them believe that all these dreams of excellence and achieving all these things, they align directly with them helping their families, helping their communities. So I feel like as a youth, we do need to understand that and start making efforts to help others in such communities. I feel that the ultimate goal for my outreach program currently um, is continuing to have an impact. That's all. Continuing to touch lives and use whatever resources that we have at our disposal to do this. So we are aiming to grow, first of all, involve more people, ask for resources, ask for funding, and just apply for all these different things in due time. But most of all, continue to have an impact, continue to touch lives. Regardless of what is happening in the country, we want to continue. Because if we stop, then who's going to do it? No one else. And one other outreach program that I did was more of a primary school project where I started a soccer team during the lockdown because I was training alone, and children in the community started coming to play with me. So I started a soccer team, and it's doing well. Currently, it has the main coach. We have a soccer kit. The kids are playing, and we've managed to register the team as well. So it was so nice just to see the parents excited that their children are off the streets and they're not exposed to the dangers of your addictive and troublesome drugs that youth use these days in townships. So it was just really touching and inspiring for me to just be involved in that. And with that, I just hope that it continues to serve the purpose to the community, and it makes a difference in those children's lives and prevents them from being exposed to things that they'll probably never come back from. So with that being said, I just personally, it's a matter of continuing to inspire people and continuing to leave a mark and having an impact on people's lives. If you find yourself in a position where you start considering to do something for someone else, that is exactly where you need to start. You do not have to go for conventional methods of making a difference, like going back to high school, tutoring. Look for a problem in the community. Ask yourself, how can you solve the problem with the resources that you have? Then do what you can where you are. You don't have to wait until you're working and you have the financial resources. Just start with what you have and where you are. The important thing is to start, because starting says that you will touch one person, and that one person will touch another person. And in a space of time, it will just be amazing, the contribution that you'd have done. So don't hold back. Don't wait for a distant time that might never come. Start now and continue doing it, and other people will join, and it will blow up, and it will have an impact, and you will reach whatever goals that you want to reach. So that's what I would say. And continue learning. Have a learner mindset. Treat everything that you face as an opportunity to learn. Constantly educate yourself on what is happening, and constantly educate yourself on how you can be better at what you do, and continue to learn. With that being said, thank you so much for being here and listening to the conversation that we just had. I hope that you do take something out of this, and I hope that you do grow. And with whatever idea that you had, I hope that you see it through. Because there are a lot of ideas that people had, but because they were scared, or because there were other things that were holding them back, they didn't see them to fruition. So I really hope that you hold on to that idea, regardless of what the environment says, regardless of what other negative factors that play in, but just push through and implement whatever idea that you have.
Wise words indeed, Luxolo. Thank you so much for that. Now introducing Afrika Galgane, who I've also had the pleasure to work with in 2019 in her organization. She is the co-founder and the president of Saki Kamva. I'd also like to apologize for the glitches that we're about to have in this video in terms of low volume and sync. Thank you.
Igama lam ndingu-Afika wakwaRhalkane, and I'm the co-founder and president of Isaki Kamva NPO. Isaki Kamva is an organization that assists matriculants with tertiary institution applications for bursaries, NSFAS, and funding-related information. We also assist them with motivational drives and career guidance. As we all know, into yokubana ngaba kunzima motivated when you're coming from communities that seem not to be motivated and are not progressing. That's why Isaikamba says it fit into Banangaba, inspire these kids and encourage them to dream bigger than themselves. Isakigamba, from the year 2016 initially, when it started with 8 members and funding solely from our parents, saw a great growth when in the year 2019 we had 18 volunteers that came and assisted us to apply for plus minus 3,000 students. Isakigamba is based on the spirit of Ubuntu and giving yourself for the community. We believe that if you want to see change in your community, you must show yourself. The biggest things I've learned from Isakigamba as an organization is that there is nothing you can do without teamwork. Teamwork is the dream. If you want to be impactful, if you want to be influential, you need people to buy into your vision. You need people that will catch your vision and run with it. And together, you guys can build a better tomorrow. That is why slogan Isakigamba is it together we build the future. Because without others, you can never see the impact that you want in your communities. That's why Isakigamba is based on a partnership and a unit yabantu that come together and impact their communities. What I would advise for abantu that want to give back into rural communities is that they must start in their own communities, because there's never enough improvement in our communities, or there is never too much improvement done. So if you want to give back, start in your own communities, so that by the time you get out to communities obona ilek kuzu, you have experience and you know what to do when you get to those communities. You're able to bridge the gap because you have experience from your own communities. Isakigamba initially, when it started, it was only assisting schools around Umtata, the town, but currently we are going to Itsolo region, we go to Mkandwe region, and we also go to Intlaza region. And that is all because from Umtata, we learned a lot of things. We made mistakes and we progressed from those mistakes. And now when we're going to other centers and regions, we are able to execute the service to the people that need it. So what I'd like to say, Ebandwin, is that if you want to impact other people, if you want to influence your communities, seek abantu that will catch your vision. Seek abantu that together you guys can build it tomorrow. Because if you influence and impact and empower the youth, you are impacting tomorrow.
Are we all feeling the spirit of inspiration in the air? Because I am. Okay, so I would love to take time and salute those individuals for being so willing to help, willing to share, and most of all doing it without expecting anything in return. They already have so much work of their own, and this makes it clear that there is never a right time. Go for it and do it. Thank you for watching. I hope I'm leaving you encouraged to participate in Youth Month by recognizing the present and future role of the youth in shaping the social and economic landscape of the country. Please leave your questions and comments in the box below. And if you have any initiative you're currently working on, please do share in the comments as well, and we will interact with you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.